Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4, War of the Worlds. For those of you joining me for the first time ever, my name is Sabouts, and for those of you returning to the channel, I'd like to welcome you back. Now, for those of you not familiar with the War of the Worlds mod, I did do a stream on it a couple of weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. I had a couple people join me in the game and played different nations here. What the War of the Worlds mod is, essentially, for those of you who do not know, is it adds sort of the War of the Worlds kind of theme to the game. And if you don't know what that is, by H.G. Wells, you're a little behind. You're missing out. I'm not going to go into full depth with all that is. You can look it up. Just look up War of the Worlds H.G. Wells. You can read about it. It's really cool. I actually very much enjoyed all of the War of the Worlds movies, even the older ones and the original recording. I've listened to it many times, and it's very, very cool, so it's worth looking up. But we're going to be playing the Hearts of Iron 4 with the War of the Worlds mod, and going on and seeing how that goes for us. So we're going to start a game in not multiplayer, but single player. A new game. And we're going to do 31st of October, 1938. Which is when the Martians originally launch and land. So we'll go ahead and select that scenario, and it'll generate the world here for us. So you got a bunch of nations we can play as, but we will be playing as the Martian invasion. It's actually pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, actually. If we go into here and actually select, you can see that this is where we start. So we start in the New Jersey area, which is where kind of the Martian invasion began in the original recording. Actually, no, I believe it was London. It was where it originally began, but it's got us beginning here in New Jersey. And we're in the United States. So obviously, right off the bat, the very first thing you're going to notice is that we're going to have to try and attack and capitulate the United States damn near instantly if we're going to have any chance in surviving this. We need all of their territory. Canada and Mexico will also need to go, because that's where we're going to have to build our infrastructure to take on the rest of the world. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to play for. I'll just play until I feel like I've done a good enough job that I can win. That's usually what I do for games like this, because these games can obviously go on for a really long time. But we've got different difficulties here, which we can get in on, and then we can strengthen different countries as well. I'm not going to strengthen myself or anything. And since this is a modded playthrough, I'll actually just keep the difficulty on regular. I'm not going to go nuts and crank it up for this particular playthrough like I do other ones. Because, like I said, it's a modded playthrough. So it's just more about showcasing the mod and less about playing the game on higher difficulties. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And something to point out is that I am still fairly new-ish at Hearts of Iron 4. This will be my first time actually playing Hearts of Iron 4 by myself, not having somebody guide me through the game, so that'll be interesting. So I'm actually going to click learn about the mod here, because even though I've read this, I want you guys to see this here. So in the War of the Worlds mod, you either play as the Martian invasion force trying to take over the world as quickly as possible before you lose your technological advantage, or you play as the humans, trying to hold back the Martian menace as long as you can until your technology is able to catch up. It is recommended, if playing multiplayer, that there is a USA and Martian player, otherwise the game will end sooner than desired. Similarly, due to the limitation with the game engine, it is recommended that naval invasions of the Martians are discouraged, at least until the USA capitulates. So, alright, thanks for playing the mod. Learn how to play the humans, learn how to play the Martians. There's spoilers there. Onto the game. Let's go onto the game here. So the Martian invasion force has declared war on the United States. We actually start out at war with them, which is nice. But we'll have to fabricate wars for a lot of other countries, unless, of course, they go to war with us, which is usually pretty likely. I'll probably end up splitting this up into something that makes sense and spreading out pretty equally. I do have some things that I know about the mod, so I'm going to use that to my advantage to try to give me an upper hand in winning, because I'm not gonna lie and pretend I don't know them. So because I've played the mod before, so I know that I've got to take Georgia pretty quickly. There's a research facility that'll pop up later on in the game, basically saying that the United States is coming out with some type of disease that they're going to use against the Martians, and if you don't destroy the research facility in Georgia, your nation takes a pretty negative hit. I think it's like a stability hit, and you get a couple other stuff. Military organization, something like that. It's really nasty, so we're going to want to deal with that. Let's go ahead and go through these right out the gate here and kind of finish them up. I usually like to early on go for some type of industry, because the Martians don't start with a very large industry, and you'll see that as I start getting into the production tabs and factory assignments and such, because you've only got the New Jersey area there. You've got to actually take over large portions of the United States so you can build some form of industry. So that's kind of where we're at right now. You've got the concentrated industry or the dispersed industry. Concentrated there, you get a factory output, dockyard output, max factories in the state plus 20. Here you get some outputs there. Let's see, production efficiency, conversion speed bonus, factory bomb vulnerability, max factories in a state. You know, I'm just going to go for the concentrated industry. And then for the other one, synthetic oil engineering is pretty good. We could work on air doctrines. We're not going to touch anything naval yet. There's certain decisions, national focuses that we can do to help us with naval, so we're going to stay away from that. Really, I do usually like to try and grab up. I'd like to try to go for more. Like the contingency is really good, but obviously I can't get it now. It's way ahead of its time. But it's something I would like to work on. The drones. A lot of this is going to be ahead of its, let's see, 1.6, 1.6. We could do the electric turret. Not really. Or we could just keep working on land doctrines. I actually go for this. Gives us some recovery rate organization. Yeah, we'll just go for that. It'll take a little bit of time. Civilian factories, they're freed up, but they won't be here in a second. They're going to be pretty busy. We're not going to modify the government just yet. Let me go for a national focus. So we've got a couple of different things here. We've got the invasion. So I'll kind of hover over that so you guys can see what it is. If you'd like to pause and read these, I'll kind of skim them, but you get some research bonuses there. Land doctrine, air doctrine, some building sites, and you get 2 rocket sites in New Jersey. I don't know if I find this one, and it increases the world tension to 50. I don't think that this is really good to start with. That's just my personal opinion. Now, you can get it in 7 days, and I can see what that could be the bonus of being able to nail that out really quickly, get the additional building slots and the rocket sites. But the world tension increasing to 50 usually causes people to just start declaring war on you, and then you're fighting like multiple nations right out the bat. I might still take it, but if you do these here, you add maximum infrastructure in New Jersey, unlocks resource import decision, which is a really important decision that once I unlock it, I'll explain. But it does add maximum infrastructure in New Jersey, which is nice. And this one here, same exact thing. Unlocks industrial import decision as well. And believe it or not, I don't think that either of these are any different. Adds maximum infrastructure in New Jersey, unlocks resource import decision. Import resources, import industry. Industrial import decision, resource import decision. So you can either send industry or send resources. I find the resources to be useful in the beginning, not as useful later on. As you acquire more territory, you get more resources. The industry, useful in the beginning and useful later on. So it's really whether you want something, you want that early game boost, but it's going to become worthless, or you want something that's going to be kind of good the whole game, but not nearly as strong in the beginning as the import resources. There's like a really fine line you're juggling between these two. Let's just pick up the invasion for the 7 days. We'll just take it. I usually don't start with the invasion, but we're recording. We'll, I guess we'll mix it up a bit compared to what I usually do. And for modifying the government, I can take a couple different things here. We probably would like to get a military high command. I do enjoy armor, division attack, division defense, because we have some really good armor with the, not these scouts, but the, where are they? Okay, I don't even think I started with any. I did not start with any, but they're the big heavy tanks. They're really, really good. We should get some later on here. So they're very, very useful. I'll probably just go ahead and go for the armor here. Industrial research time, not really. Could go heavy tripod, mobile tripod. More concerned about making it tougher versus anything, but if I can get something for infantry, division training time, division attack. Ooh, I do like the training time. We need to have a lot of forces early on because we get spread out pretty thin, so let's pick that up. And let's see, silent worker, political game, military factory, construction speed, dockyard, not really concerned. Don't need the fascism support really. Don't need that. Captain of industry, civilian factory construction speed, infrastructure construction speed, refinery construction speed. None of these are really actually going to be useful this early on. Oh, we could take the infantry, division attack and defense. Why don't we do that? And we'll save the rest. We'll bank the rest of it. Alright, let's get some forces here going. We're going to make two different armies here. I think we'll take these ones. And we're going to give them a commander. Actually, I'd like to give the forces attacking that side of the United States a commander. We can just get a new one. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll assign him. Then these forces here, we'll give them the good commander. And then we'll go ahead and grab up a field marshal. Move this army in, nice, and their field marshal's pretty good as well. So I'd like to let's go ahead and get our front line here for this army. It's going to be very, very simple. They're literally going to take that front line there, and then I want them to have a nice offensive line right across here, and that's kind of what I want them to focus on, just pushing up, and they'll take all this, but we'll just focus on that there. For these units here, Army 2, I guess, we'll go ahead and give them a front line here. And we'll have them push to secure. Now we're going to want a front line here past Washington, D.C. New York City needs to fall ASAP. That's very important. We get a special bonus if we take New York City. I may take some units and focus them on that. Push past Washington, D.C. because we get some bonuses for that too. And then we have to make a straight line, B line to Georgia. What I'll do is I'll end up taking an army heading towards Georgia, and I'll just build a third army that'll go ahead and take all that there, and we'll hold a line here. Once I take the facility in Georgia, then I can push across the United States. We got to be very quick about this. Lightning fast, or we're going to suffer penalties for not taking stuff quick enough. Yeah, we'll make a front line just like this. I actually want to go across that city if I can. Like that. That does say we're gonna be a little taxed out doing that. So I guess I could just do this. That'll be fine. Then we can modify this later on. We're gonna get some more units going. Speaking of more units, I can't do any production. We don't have any military factories just yet. And so no point in trying to recruit anything. We also don't have any manpower. This is what we start with, guys, and it's just what we're going to have to deal with. So we'll go ahead and unpause the game. I want to crank the speed up to 3. United States has called the Philippines in. These guys, I'm probably just going to go ahead and actually launch these guys into the invasion because they're ready to go. And these guys... he'll just launch both of them, but there. Do that. Just have everybody moving up. So again, like I said, New York City's got to fall pretty quickly so we can get the invasion going and get some reinforcements. It should go pretty well. Catch the United States off guard. We've already got the national focus, the invasion. Let me pause real quick. That was the research bonus for land air doctrines, 2 building slots, and added 2 rocket sites. We can start going for interstellar army. We'd get some army experience. We get a research bonus for land doctrines. Actually, that reminds me, I got to do some stuff with the air there, but we could do that. I haven't decided yet if, let's see, with these are all 70 days. The naval conversion's 35 days, but I'm not worried about naval until the United States capitulates. And do I want to focus on getting resources early on or importing industry? What's orbital construction yard give me? Gains national spirit orbital factories, which grants factory output, construction speed, resource gain efficiency, and resource bonus for industry. I'm going to go for the import resources. Usually early on in the game, you take some really heavy penalties from not having any... not having a lot of resources, so we'll just go ahead and take that and just be merry. No military factories yet. I think I do have the ability to build some military factories now because I think we got some building slots. We're going to start seeing the civilian factories get eaten up because we got a lot of infrastructure that's going to need to be repaired, and we can actually build a factory in New Jersey, so we'll go ahead and do that. All right, let's keep pushing. Right, we'll see a few things popping up here. Hopefully, we'll see Germany still go to war with people. It'd be nice to see other people in the world go to war with each other. Oh, yikes! That's not good. That's really early too. Uh-oh. Okay, well, fair enough. So we've already got the allies against us. That didn't take long. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes it doesn't. In this particular instance, it happened very quickly. So we're already probably going to see. Some people build up on here. Yikes. That is not good. Alright, well. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. We should be able to take the United States pretty quickly. Can you guys please... Okay, perfect. So, extermination of New York. New York has fallen while our patrols continue to clean up the remaining human defenders. Our main army continues their push. After the extermination of this once great Earth city, the government on Mars is offering a detachment of Tempest heavy units to help keep up the pace. Alternatively, we could request more scouts to help fill out our contingents. I'm actually going to get the Tempest here. Really good units. You'll see them land down here in New York City. They're very good. Very good. We've got 4 of them. It would make sense to put some in each army. We'll probably just do 2 there, and we'll take the other 2 like that. And they'll go off, and they're actually going to close up some of these holes we were having here, because you see the United States here trying to push on us, actually, trying to close that off. We'll see the Tempest kind of close in, I'm hoping. Yep, here they come. And especially because we want to take Philadelphia, right? It's going to be important. Have Philadelphia fall. Now with New York freed up, though, we're going to see the scouts here be able to push out and do some damage, hopefully, soon. Oh, we actually got some scouts that are unassigned. Do I want to do 1 scout to each? This army's already as big as it needs to be to take the northeastern part of the United States, so we'll definitely put these scouts down here in this army. That's going to make the most sense. Hopefully these guys will loop around and continue their push. I don't need them going to the northeastern route. There's already enough there. I may even pull 1 Tempest. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, because this northeastern part's going to fall very quickly now. I'm going to pull a Tempest, actually, to the other army. So that way they can focus on this, because this is going to be the larger span, and then they can also focus on the push to Georgia, which is going to be really important. That's got to happen within the next probably 2 years. We need to be able to make it to Georgia. So we've got some military factories. Finally, we've got 3 military factories. We can go ahead. We're going to start right off with the plasma cannon, or I'm sorry, the infantry equipment, which is the plasma cannon, and we'll just throw 1 factory in support equipment. Now, obviously, this doesn't fix anything, and I know that, guys. As the aliens, you have a huge technological advantage, but you take a massive production cripple. This is completely normal. We'll go ahead as we get factories going. We're going to see these numbers get a lot better, but for now they're not too bad because we've got a stockpile, but we're going to burn through it pretty quickly. And I guess free dockyards. Jeez, so we'll just dump them all into convoys. It doesn't do us any good, but we might need them later on. So we've got some Decisions available. Send by yearly reinforcements request. This is awesome. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of this. That'll drop some more reinforcements, hopefully, if it works. Did it work? Maybe not. Okay. You know, I've actually had that not work for me before in the past, and I don't know if I'm missing something. Gets event Martian reinforcements, which we didn't get, so I don't know. But, I don't know. Damn shame, I guess. Damn shame. But the Army 1 here doing a great job pushing into Maine. Hoping that Canada doesn't declare... Have they declared war? Are they at war with us? I don't think that they were not ever is fighting a defensive war. Oh, they are actually. Okay. So they were actually called in. It makes sense. The United Kingdom would have called them in, but no divisions, basic training. Yeah, we've got the manpower now. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of supplies here. We'll burn through it pretty quickly, but that doesn't mean we can't get some people started. We'll go ahead and it can only be New Jersey, and I really like to get Tempest units trained as well, but we'll just do 1 for 1, and you know what? Hell, we'll even go for 1 scout. Just 1 of each, though, for now. We're not going to go nuts with that because we just don't have the production to support it, but we at least want to start getting them fleshed out because they can and start getting that experience up there. We'll drop them at 20% because we need everything we can. So, yikes, that fired a lot earlier than I'm used to it. So, we have to reach the facility in less than 2 weeks. That's not even probably practical. Jesus, we need to make it to Georgia in less than 2 weeks before we get the disease negative modifier. I can offensive line down there, but that's gonna stretch my forces just unbelievably thin. I could take a small force. I could make another army and just try to beeline down there. But obviously they're going to get closed off and probably killed. So let's do that. We'll just give him this as a defensive line. And I guess a front line of Georgia. Or offensive line of Georgia, sorry. And this has to happen. You throw a Tempest with them. And just 1 Tempest. Give me the Scout too. And then these units here, they're still a little thinned out. I don't want them to push into Canada, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't. They should not. They should build a nice defensive border up there, actually. Alright, so these guys just need to hurry up and go now. I can't let them sit and wait any longer. They need to make a complete just drive down there. Go for it. Godspeed, gentlemen. Godspeed. Insufficient resources, missing equipment. Nobody is going to trade us anything, obviously. So the insufficient resources is something you just have to live with early on in the game. And these guys, I'm hoping and praying they get to Georgia. It's very possible they might not. Guy's giving me a little bit of a hard time. Can we please hurry up and take some of this? Just go and push those guys out, would you? What the heck's going on over here? Ah, forces invading. Need you guys to reroute. Okay, these guys are pushing. And the other guys are coming in to close the gap since that was where the front line was anyways for them. Yikes, these guys are going to give me a problem in Boston, aren't they? I'm already stretched a little thin because I'm at war with so many people. You guys make a push on that, huh? Hurry up and get these guys gotten rid of so that way I can focus on moving you guys around a little bit. It doesn't mean no good for you guys to sit there like that. Okay, we're pushing. We're making the push. We must find the new facility. Failure, the cure has moved already. It's been 2 weeks. It wasn't 2 weeks. It was like 2 days. Well, that sucks. We've now got the disease. Stability minus 30%, division attack minus 25. So I can't get rid of that unless I take California, I think is where the new facility is. So that sucks. The hell? I'm almost sure it wasn't 2 weeks. I think the developer said that that feature was a little bugged. I don't know if he ever fixed it. That's kind of sucks, but hey, you know what? That's all right. Either way, we're out of time for this episode, so no big deal. We're still doing a great job. We're pushing here up to the border. We've made it to this front line. I'll go ahead and take out the rest of the northeastern area, and then and my dog's upset. I'll take the rest of the northeastern area. I'll build the defensive line, and then I'll have this front line here, and I'll be all good. So I want to thank you all for joining me for this one. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you are enjoying this series, if you like it, let me know what you think down below in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like because it lets me know that I'm picking the right games to play and that you guys are really enjoying something. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I do hope that you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.